resist arrest or whatever may come to him.
Um, I think they definitely got to look at the facts. Could Trump resist arrest? That's a problem. He keeps on saying that a sitting president basically can't be investigated. He keeps on mentioning the fact of possible pardons for Paul Manafort. And, stuff that came out last week with Roger Stone and his interesting interactions with, I forgot the guy's name, but he had an interesting interaction with him about the WikiLeaks. If they can
Julian
get
Assange? Or...
Oh, no, like with a different man who then talked to Julian Assange to get information that could possibly hurt Hillary Clinton. It's really only the extreme Republicans, definitely, who are saying that this is a extreme witch hunt, because it really isn't. They're just looking at the facts, and I think that the real situation that they're having here with the Mueller probe is definitely going to be rather interesting, due to the fact that he's getting closer to Trump, and due to the fact that he's getting closer to allies of Trump. It should definitely be raising an alarm for Trump, as Cohen was his lawyer. That's a pretty close person to be getting into trouble with. And especially the fact that he lied for Trump. He even said that in a statement, that he lied to keep his solidarity with Mr. Trump. I don't know if that means that Mr. Trump told him to lie, or if he just felt like that would be the best thing to do for Trump. He repeatedly denies that. President Trump repeatedly denies the fact that he told Mueller to lie to them, to make it sound like that he did nothing wrong, saying that Trump did nothing wrong. But I think this whole thing right now with conservatives saying that this is a witch hunt, this is not true, they're just trying to find fake facts, and they keep on moving away from Hillary Clinton, and they're trying to get Trump because Hillary Clinton lost. It's just not true. They probably would have had stuff going on with Hillary Clinton's emails or something else if she had won the presidency. But you know what? In my opinion, it's actually good she didn't win the presidency. I'm going to tell you why. We probably wouldn't have won the House this year if Hillary Clinton was president. We probably wouldn't have won, we didn't win the Senate, but we probably wouldn't have lost 2 seats. We probably could have lost 7 or even more seats this year if Hillary Clinton was our president. We definitely would have gotten Arizona, Nevada, especially keeping Montana. A state like Montana, where Trump actually went out there a lot to campaign for Matt Rosendale. If Hillary Clinton was our president, hell no, is John Tester going to be the senator serving for a third term there. Matt Rosendale would have been elected this year if Hillary Clinton was our president.
Yeah, that is.
So we get some goods and bads with Trump. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, definitely a lot more electoral motivation for people who want to come out and oppose Trump. It's pretty much like liberals, who are actually pulling the work. All the Republicans are like, "Oh, I think Donald Trump is so bad." Like, they're not doing anything except for whining about it, moaning about it on Twitter, which really does not help anything.
No,
yeah. So, very crazy situation going on right now. Very, very crazy situation right now in Los Angeles with the Oscars. The Oscars, they're going to be Kevin Hartless after Kevin Hart tweeted an MLK quote on Friday. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. That's the closest he came to comment after shocking everyone by stepping down from his Oscars role on Thursday night. So pretty much the choice was, after he tweeted some pretty anti-gay comments back in 2011 that he, again, now deleted, the Oscars were like, you got to apologize for those tweets or step down. And he did not apologize. So he stepped down. Yeah, he still said more than the Academy or ABC were pretty much playing this by the book at this point. And the obvious question is, who's going to host the Oscars now? We don't know. And the question is also for the Academy here, why didn't they see this coming? Because he's had some pretty anti-gay stand-up routines and some very anti-gay tweets in the past. And they've been on the internet, and they've been available there the whole time. And it's also pretty interesting. Like, this guy's he's been getting like some pretty good opportunities. He's getting stand-up shows, and that's just kind of who he is. You expect that kind of brand And I think personally he should have apologized for the tweets. And I don't know. I think it's. I honestly am not too motivated to be like, oh, he should host the Oscars, because let's be honest, no one really watches the Oscars anyway.
Yeah, no one really watches the Oscars. And in my opinion, he he definitely should have apologized. But I don't think they should have forced it on him, especially as uh, if he is still anti-gay. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, it should be accepted, but I mean, like, I don't think that we should be having people going out saying, "Well, I'm going to kill all the gays," because I don't agree with it. Um, I think that them forcing it onto him was definitely maybe a little bit too harsh, but in my opinion, I think he definitely should have come out and apologized for what he said. But I mean, look, maybe that was a long time ago. That was 2011. That was 7 years ago. I mean, his opinion probably changed, is my guess. But you honestly really never know. He might be still rather anti-gay. I mean, that's fine. But I think that he definitely. I mean, how bad were these tweets? Were they pretty bad? I didn't even see this.
I think it was like pretty much what he was saying was, I think he was like, what do you say? He was like, if I had a daughter, or if I came home and saw my son playing with a dog, a dollhouse, I would like snap it over my knee and be like, "Son, you gay," or something like that. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, that seems a little bit like a joke, but
yeah,
that definitely
well,
could be
he's
offensive.
definitely said some pretty. I definitely think that's not the only thing he said.
No, definitely. Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
All
I mean,
right.
that could definitely seem offensive to some people.
Back, yeah, it's definitely is offensive.
Yeah,
Fox News
definitely.
host Pete Hegseth, he received money for an event with a GOP candidate and repeatedly interviewed him for the network, and it's happened multiple times. John James is his name, which is pretty.
Oh yeah, John James from Michigan.
Yeah, John James from Michigan. He's Pete Hegseth has received many. He's received $20,000 in speaking fees from 13 Republican organizations in the past 2 years, and they've had him on many times on Fox and Friends to kind of promote his campaign. Pretty much, again, another kind of proof of what you're saying before, to the point that we already very much know Fox News is not a journalistic outlet, and they can no longer pretend to be, because at this point they're working in tandem with Republicans to push their own agenda. It's probably the most tired point you could possibly make, but it's very much true.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's definitely very true. Um, it's not a full news source anymore, full of journalists. It seems like what Fox News has turned into is basically a news full of just opinion-based news. Now, how far they go with the opinion base is rather far. Their slogan is "real news, real honest, real honest opinion." Well, when they say real news, that could trick someone to saying, "Oh, okay, I'll just look onto them for the news." Well, but if you go on after 7, you're going to be seeing, like the ultra far right wing people. You got Tucker Carlson, Sean Hannity, and Judge Jeanine Pirro. That's not news. I've watched those 3 before, and the only thing you do is it's like eating a sour lemon for me. It's not my cup of tea, but for some people that might be their cup of tea. You're listening, watching someone yelling at a camera at times, reading off script. They're not even reading off their head. Their producers are writing this stuff for them, so it's not like that's actually like that. Probably is their opinion, but they can't go on that news and start just talking. They have to read a freaking script. That's how lame those people are on those news sources. Only at times they get into their opinion when they are like debating. Like I know Tucker Carlson has like a liberal Sherpa portion of his news, where he basically gets this like liberal lady on, and she asks like
I've seen her.
last time I was watching it, they were talking about like the song "Oh Baby It's Cold Outside," and then like he was like, "Well, is that like inappropriate?" And she was like, "Well, yeah, because if you read the lyrics, it's talking about a guy saying to a girl, you could stay here and have some more drinks." And then he was like, "Well, do you want to ruin Christmas or something?" It's like he overreacts to try to get his viewers. Like his viewers must be like getting drunk off this show, I swear, because I mean, I sit there and I'm watching this. I'm like, what is this guy saying? He's going from like a little bit extreme, like when the lady said that could be basically looked at as inappropriate. And then he's saying, well, do you want to ruin Christmas by not listening to the song? Like, she never even said that. She just said that if you read the lyrics, it is rather inappropriate. They even mentioned that the fact of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer on that show, that could be a bullying movie. If you should be sitting down with your kids, watch that movie, telling them that this is bullying. And the liberal Sherpa was like, oh, well, that's, I mean, it is bullying, but I'm not going to ruin a movie for my kids. And then he was like, well, you're going to ruin Christmas by making people not listen to the song. And then she got off the air already by then. But I mean, even Fox and Friends, which is what I mean, that's like trying to,
Yeah, they're very much in the propaganda too, and it's like,
definitely,
yeah.
There was a lady on there. No, this is the thing that got me really pissed off. There was a lady on there the other day who said that the Democrats won because they had more money. First off, that is a lie. That is a lie. She just doesn't want to live with the truth because she's getting drunk off Fox News, like someone here who I'm not going to mention their name, but gets drunk off Ben Shapiro. No, that's not him. It's no. Actually, that wasn't him. It was Tucker Carlson watches Ben Shapiro actually a lot, but I was going to say Judge Jeanine Pirro reads. She literally said on her news source that she will sit down at her house and just read Trump's tweets because it is inspiring to her. But going back on the story, Fox and Friends, there was a lady on there saying that the Democrats won because they had the money advantage, when in most districts they did not. Look at Florida, okay? Look at North Dakota. Look at Montana. Look at Nevada. Look at Arizona. Those 4 states, the Republicans had more money than the Democrats. Now, obviously, in one of them, Florida, the Democrat lost by 10,000 votes. But, I mean, he was outnumbered 3-1 by the Republicans. So, I mean, outnumbered by that much, especially money-wise, a Republican should definitely be winning that race by maybe 100,000, not 10,000.
The only time where there was a really clear money advantage for the Democrats was in the Beto O'Rourke race. And I think it's very. We all know obviously what happened there, but it's very telling when the Fox News tried to cover things like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and that's because there's no good news that they can point to for Donald Trump. It's just all bad news, and they're just trying to stir more anger and hatred in the country by talking about this stuff. And it's very sad and pathetic, and also very, very, very obvious. I must say.
Yeah, that is exactly what they're doing because they just don't have anything else to talk about. Exactly, that is perfectly said.
All right, yeah, so what we're going to go on now to is the new Attorney General. The nomination of William Barr, he's the Bush 41 era Attorney General, to be the next Attorney General in replacement for Jeff Sessions, was confirmed by Trump during a Friday morning Q&A with the press corps. Officials at the DOJ are thrilled with Trump's selection of Barr, according to CNN. He's seen as universally solid, reliable, and conservative, but someone who could also get confirmed. Friday night shindig on the DOJ at the 5th floor had some members of the media in attendance, along with Matt Whitaker, Rod Rosenstein, and an oversized portrait of Barr. Barr played a role on the Time Warner board during the AT&T merger. Barr held a top job at Verizon for several years. Then he joined CNN's parent company, now AT&T, which, I mean, I'm sorry, a guy who's a board member, a guy who's a former Bush 41 guy who helped cover up the Iran-Contra affair, that's not a guy who I want to be Attorney General. And I think this is going to see more light before he gets confirmed. But I am opposed to this guy because I just don't want him I don't want to see him in there.
No, I don't want to see him in there. I mean, especially corporate. I personally don't trust corporate people. I can give you an example. There's a man named Jeff Green who ran for the Florida gubernatorial election on the Democrat side. He came out of nowhere. He used to be a Republican, very rich, wealthy real estate man. He used to be a Republican. He actually got, scary enough, he got 10% of the vote down there. He got more than Chris King, Gilliam's LT pick, which that kind of scared me a little bit. But looking at Barr, I mean, personally for me, he was only Attorney General for 2 years under Bush. Obviously, since Bush did not win his second term, most likely he probably definitely would have been our Attorney General for longer. But I think that he's a little bit he's as bad as basically Jeff Sessions. I don't think there's really anything different. As he was the Deputy Attorney General,